guys, I just wanted to share something with you because a lot of you have reached out, especially those of you that followed the saga of the mountain dogs, Grace and Steve and George, Princess George. And as you know, I lost George earlier. I lost her several months ago. And then I lost Steve just a couple of weeks ago. And so that leaves Grace. And a lot of people were really concerned about Grace. And I just want to tell you just an observation that I've had that I think might help a lot of people. So Grace and Steve were siblings. I think that George was probably either a half sister or related to them, in another way. But Steve and Grace were always, very, very close. So if we were outside, they would kind of stand together, and if they would lay down in the house, if they were on the beds with the other dogs, they would lay next to each other. They didn't appear to be neurotic at all with each other, which of course can happen frequently with littermate syndrome. So it was never a problem, and I have so many dogs that they were able to socialize with a lot of different dogs, so they were never like neurotically connected. But they did make sure that if they were together or they were out in the same yard or in the house together, they were near each other. And then when Steve died, Grace was right there when he died. She was literally right in the same room, and she saw us carry him out. I knew she would be okay because I understand that dogs see death as the end of life. They don't, the natural, end of life. And they don't see it the same way, the tragic way that we see it. We have a different, even if somebody dies of completely natural causes when they're 101, we still, to some degree, feel that it's tragic, but dogs are just like, it's a natural conclusion to life. And, but she has just been thriving. I mean, like absolutely thriving, literally from the day we had to let Steve go. She has been interactive with the other dogs like she never has before. I thought that she was getting arthritic because she didn't want to, play as much as she used to. And now she's playing and she's spinning around in the yard, around the other dogs and eliciting play, and she's barking. She never barked, like never. If she's away from them and she sees them on the other side of the fence or something, she basically demand barks until I let her come through. She's more affectionate with me. She's just thriving. And so I think it's a good lesson for us to understand about the littermate syndrome because it's always so controversial. People they lose their mind over the concept of it because if it hasn't happened to them, they don't think it's real. And I assure you that it is real. If it hasn't happened to you and you've had siblings or even multiple siblings and it's gone well for you, that's awesome. And I commend you. It doesn't happen every single time. But as I've explained before, dogs can either be neurotically attached to each other, impossible for them to connect with the human, impossible for you to separate them. Like if one is in one room, the other one has to be there, one has to be in the car, the other one has to be in the car, and that type of thing. Or they can start fighting. And it's pretty gruesome fights, especially if it's same sex. So it's definitely a real thing, even if it hasn't happened to you. You haven't had that particular experience. But what I find is that even though they were not neurotic with each other, in a sense, they kind of were, and I never really picked up on it because it never became, really a problem. But I just wanted you guys to know, and here she is, with her little tongue out. She always has her tongue out. That she's doing incredibly well. She's super happy. She spends way more time actually with me and with the other dogs because she basically insists on it now. So it's a good lesson. I think that even if your dogs are getting along, you have littermates and they get along and they're doing well together, I still think that they thrive when they're separated because I think it's in the natural world, the pack doesn't stay together. They separate and create their own packs. Anyway, just a piece of information because a lot of you guys have been reaching out and asking me about them, and you loved them as I did. So we still have Grace. Hey, Grace, can you put your tongue in? And her nose is always dirty. Anyway, that's just a quick, a little update about her.